Today, we're going to talk about how to draw a face using realistic proportions and capturing the unique features that make a person different from another person. First, we're going to start with a shape for the outside of the head. Most heads are an oval or maybe an egg shape, so I'm going to see if I can draw that shape on my paper. Next, I want to determine where the middle of this oval is. So I'm looking to draw a line across the middle that is halfway from the top and the bottom, so that these two spaces are about the same. When I have that line, I'm going to draw it across, and I'm going to label that the midline or the middle of my oval. On the midline of a face, you'll notice, let's see, what is at the middle of the face? If I take a piece of paper and I lined it up with a fold on the midline, I would see that the eyes are right here on the middle of the face. You can see that with each of these faces, the eyes are right about at the midline. So therefore, I want to put my eyes right at the midline of my face. I'm going to draw an eye here and an eye here with a curved line. Students often wonder how big to make their eyes and how to space the middle part here. If you look at this picture, it shows you how the space between the eyes is about one eye width. If you were to look here or here, you can see that the space on the outside of the eye is almost one eye length. Again, all of this would depend on the actual person that you're looking at. But in general, you can think about this space here being an eye's width. So take this space and measure it so that it's the same in between. When you're drawing your eyes, you can think about leaving space for 5 eyes going across. Then you're going to come in here and get your under the lower lid of your eye. And when you're thinking about drawing your eyes inside, you want to think about how much of the iris or colored part of the eye is actually showing. So in all of these cases, or if you're looking up, you'll see a little bit of the white underneath the eyes, but in most cases, you'll just see white on the edges. And then I can come in here and draw my pupil, or the black part in the center of my eye. All right, how long should a nose be? If you were to measure on a face, you would see that halfway between the midline and the chin, right here at the quarter of the way up, is usually about the tip of the nose. So I'm going to draw a line that is halfway between the midline and the chin. So I'm looking at that distance. It should be about halfway. I'm going to draw a line there. This is the 1/4 line. On the 1/4 line, I'm going to draw the tip of my nose, the very tip, and then some nostrils here and here. The nostrils are almost straight down from the center of the eye. It might be a little wider or a little more narrow, depending on the face that you're looking at. But you want to think about measuring that about straight down. Think about how wide it is compared to this space. Again, you'll want to be looking at a picture because everybody's nose is different. This nose looks a little bit wider than this nose. In between the eyes, you have the bridge of the nose. This is the space where your nose pops forward and shows off some three-dimensional features. Halfway between the quarter line and the chin line, draw a line here, halfway between the tip of the nose and the chin. What would be there? If you look at this picture, you can see the bottom of the bottom lip being about halfway. on this one as well. The bottom of the bottom lip is halfway between the nose and the chin. Let's see if it's true in the photographs. The nose and the chin, the bottom lip is about halfway. Again, it depends on the shape of the mouth, if what the mouth is doing, right? But in general, even if your lips are closed, halfway between the tip of the nose and the chin is going to be the bottom of the bottom lip. So I'm going to draw the bottom of my bottom lip, and it's going to be about as big as the nose, maybe a little bit wider, depending on what my lips are doing. And up above on my top lip, I have a little curved line right here, this little curved line. So I'm going to draw that little curved line here. And then this is going to come down and connect and come down and connect. My bottom lip is fatter than my top lip, so I'm going to draw the line between it a little higher here and across. Now that face does not look very happy, and I usually have a little smile on my face, so I might come with this middle line and kind of curve it up a little bit on the edges and change my outline to match that curved up edge. Thinking about your ears. Your ears are about as long as your nose. So you're going to start here at the midline with a sliver of a lip. A sliver of an ear. Okay, so you're not drawing a wide ear like this because you don't see the whole ear. You're seeing just a part of the ear, just a part. So you're looking for a long, skinny ear. Coming from the midline down to the quarter line. Those ears might get covered up later, but let's draw them for now. All right, up above the eyes, I need some eyebrows. I'm drawing the outline of the eyebrows, just the shape. Eyebrows are different. Some people's are very thick. Some people's come closer together in the middle or even connect in the middle. Some eyebrows are very thin. Some have points to them. So you want to draw, again, what you see. Let's think about the neck. The neck is not a small line, a thin line like this. A neck is much wider than your lips. So when you draw your neck, I want you to think about where it starts. You can see in this picture, the neck is starting really far out on the cheekbone here, or really far out over here, like the end of the jaw. So I'm going to start a line way out here, close to the ear even, and it's going to come down. And then my shoulders are going to come off the page on the side because shoulders are much wider than the head. If you're making your shoulders end here, it's not an accurate person's shoulders. Your shoulders should be much wider than your actual head. You can add some clothing on here if you have space and add those details later. Let's talk about what is happening up here in this space. Many times students will draw hair that is just on the top here, just some hair up here. But that's not very realistic when you look at how much hair covers a forehead. This man's hair is touching his eyebrows. This hair is much shorter, but you can still see from the top of the head to the eyes how much of this space here is still coming down onto the head to make the hair. For this girl, her hair is off to the side, but still this much of the space is still dedicated to her hair. So if I was drawing this girl, I might start my hair here and it's coming down close to the eyebrow, comes down in front of the ear and over the ear. And then I see it comes out this way and around. It's coming out and around and in here, and then out and around over top of her ear. On this part, it comes down in front of her head, comes down over top of her ear. All right, after I've drawn the shape of her hair, I would erase that starting line from my oval because I no longer need that unless I wanted to use it as part of her headband. I no longer need to have that. Now she also has hair coming down from her ponytails. So I would start this one over here start over here and draw what I see. I'm drawing those ponytails. And I would erase any part that is behind the ponytail would need to be erased because it's been overlapped. The ears, the top of the ears would be erased because I've overlapped them. They no longer show. All right, if I wanted to draw this young man's hair, it's going to look very different in the front here. He has a lot of hair covering up his forehead. So let's look. His hair comes from over here. It touches the eyebrow, comes back up, touches the eyebrow, right? So I'm just getting this idea of the long hair, and then it's going to come down over top of his ear. It actually comes down almost covering the entire ear. So his hair comes all the way down to here, very low on his face. It's going to come out kind of wide here and up and up and down and then over. And again, on this side, it's going to cover much of the ear. Just the very bottom of the ear is showing. So that's what I'm going to draw. Then he does not have ponytails. So I would remove these and think about, I actually do see some hair here behind the ears. So I'm going to draw that hair here behind the ears because that's what I see. So you can see that this person has changed dramatically just by paying attention to the hair. Okay? When you're drawing hair, it's really important to think about how much of the hair comes down on top of your original oval. And if the hair touches the eyebrows or comes close to the eyebrows, you want to draw that as well. Even somebody with very short hair should have hair showing on the sides of their head and coming down on top of their forehead, okay? Unless they're completely bald, then you would leave it off. But you want to think about hair being on the sides and all around and coming on top, coming into the space of your oval. All right, take a good look at the thing that you are drawing. Start with an oval and a midline. Make sure your eyes are lined up on the midline and that your nose is reaching down to the quarter line. And then you'll be able to base all of your other features off of those two lines. Have fun creating. I can't wait to see what you make.